Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Arundhati ma'am. Good morning, Smita ma'am. Good morning, Varun. Good morning, Agastya. Keep the charts clean. We'll start in 2 minutes. Beautiful execution, no doubt about it. The execution was amazing. Friday, wala na? Even current execution is good towards short. Nice to be even set up, ke sir. Hey, good morning, Ranjit. Good morning, Varun. Good morning, Nilesh. Good morning, Usma. इधर जितने भी लोग फोमो में बैठे हैं ना लॉन्ग की तरफ सबको निकालेगा बाहर. yesterday my account blown. संडे के दिन अकाउंट कैसे ब्लो होता है वो थोड़ा समझा दो रंजत. संडे के दिन ना मार्केट्स ओपन रहती है ना हम ट्रेड करते हैं तो ब्लो कहाँ पे हुआ. एंड फर्स्ट प्लेस ना आपने 22 डेज का लर्निंग की उसके बाद ना आपने 1 मंथ का लाइव एनालिसिस किया डायरेक्टली आके आप लोग ट्रेड कर रहे हो यहाँ पे बिना सीखे. पैसा उड़ेगा नहीं तो बनेगा. क्या बात कर रहे हो जनाब. गुड मॉर्निंग संतोष. गुड मॉर्निंग उस्मान नदीम. गाइस देयर इज अ प्रोसेस. अगर वो फॉलो करना है तो बने रहो. अगर गेट रिच क्विक स्कीम में जाना चाहते हो दिस इज नॉट अ प्लेस. पहले सीखो तो सही. फर्स्ट लर्न. क्या हो गया. बिना सीखे सब कुछ चाहिए आपको. एंड संडे के दिन आपको ट्रेड करने कौन बोला यार. सैटरडे संडे ट्रेड मत करो करके बोला था करेक्ट. गोल टारगेट कंप्लीट होने दो, तब तक के लिए बीटीसी स्टार्ट करते हैं. ओके. Now I am 35, sir, and I have two children. Learning, earning, too important in my life. Let your age be 35, let your age be 25, let your age be 65. The first step is always learning. Then the second step is understanding. Then the third step is earning. You're skipping directly the process and you want to earn and learn, you will never make money in markets. So, how fast you understand that, better it is for you. Ranjit, okay? So, started backtesting, drawn 1.5 years of supply and demand for daily and 4 hours. Will complete backtesting this week. SD SND was accurate, just got doubts in 3 4 places. Post completion of morning analysis, you can ask where all you got the doubts. Okay. UTC का टाइमिंग के हिसाब से बता देना, and date and time. Right, starting with daily time frame, mark out the POI range at the current state. With the POI range, what is the next step of action that we follow? We look for an allocation post inducement range. Where is the inducement range at this current state? The inducement at the current state is at the point of action with this. With this range of action, we had got a buying pressure at this point. With the buying pressure allocation, what do we notice at this point? Do we have an internal liquidity? Yes, we do. So what is the major thing when internal liquidity happens? The liquidity calibration generates. With the liquidity calibration, moment allocation. Right? इस point of action में ये हमारा demand है. So we'll mark out this demand. Why with the wick? Because we have a break of structure. When there is a break of structure, is to be one setup का body के साथ allocation. With the body allocation, market took the rejection from the same demand zone of action. जैसे ही demand zone of action से market ने rejection लिया, what is the next step? Allocation of buying. With the allocation of buying, market ने यहाँ पे क्या किया? Retracement. Retrace कितना होगा market में? Supply converted into demand, right? So supply कौन सा होगा? जो previous moment action plan में जो supply है, so वही supply retracement will act as your current demand retracement, right? With that retracement point जो हमने supply mark out किया था, with the allocation completion, right? At this point of interest, what do we notice over here? There is a completion of a supply. With the completion of supply, what is the first moment allocation of the demand? The previous. At this state of action, this is the demand which will get allotted over here. What is the first point of allocation? Minimality zone of action was built. With the minimality, continuity will be 150%. Do we have a 150% rejection? Yes, we do. With the 150% rejection, what is the next step we'll be looking for? A movement calibration which has been taken under the consideration of previous. At this state of action, this is my entire movement plan which will be taken under the consideration of the demand. With the demand allocation, this is still in the range, so allocation point will be at this range of action. With that continuity, with the continuity 150%, 200% markup. At the current stage, market took the rejection from 150%, 150% and 200% range. Right, post the allocation point, what are the first structural allocation that you will be looking at? Why did this movement get occurred? The previous supply plan in action was this. This will get allocated at the point of interest of the current supply. With the current supply of plan, what is the next step? Retracement. How will retracement act? The previous supply gets converted into current demand. In this scenario, this is the current demand action plan, what we'll be looking for. Definitely market took a rejection from the same point of action and continue. Right, in the continuity, what is the next step that we'll be looking for? The entire movement of the first supply. With the first supply action plan, reallocation. What do we notice over here? We have a break of structure. With the break of structure, there is a minimality M2. With the minimality M2, what is the plan of action? 200% rejection. Target allocation point is at 96,595. So this is the plan of action which will be taken under the consideration of daily swing trade. In this scenario, why we have taken this? Because we have 80% rejection, right? So with 80% rejection, let's come down to 4 hours. What is 4 hours indicating at this current state? 4 hours is indicating a POI range, right? Clearly, I say you guys don't execute the trades, don't execute the trade Saturday and Sunday. Why do you guys want to trade in the zone? Why are you still thinking like a retailers? Say me that. Hmm? Why? So in this scenario, what is the plan of action that you will be looking for? Starting for the buying allocation point, with the buying allocation point, resegregation allocation. Right, in this circumstances, what is the first plan of action? The movement plan will be taken under the consideration to the previous. With that, reallocation post the demand range. Demand range is taken under the consideration of the previous. In the previous action plan, market tend to take a break. With the break, continuity. Because there is a break of structure, we are taking it with the wick and allocating. 200% market has taken the rejection. With the 200% market rejection, what is the next step? Continuity. The continuity is in the spectrum of the next. We have a minimality range of action. With the minimality range of action, we have exact 100% closure at the first stop. When there is first stop 100% closure, what is the next stop? 150%. Why 150%? Because we have a minimality over. Okay. So the next play will be directly at 150% of swing. So once 150% is marked, how will be the plan of action taken under the consideration? Plan of action is taken under the consideration of previous range of point. The previous range of point is in part of the demand zone, right? In part of the demand zone, what is the structure that we'll be looking over here? First plan of action will be in the consideration of the previous, right? In previous circumstances, how do you allocate this zone of action? This zone of action is allotted through the previous POIs, right? Let's identify the previous POI zone. At the current stage, where is my POI? So at the current stage, this is the POI range what I'm having, right? So let's copy this. reallocating. Is it in the same zone of action? When it's in the same zone of action, what is the first step of action plan that you will be taking under the consideration? Previous demand will be acting the same length of your POI. At this point, this was my first range of action. With the first range of action, second continuity, the POI closure. Right? Same thing goes for the long as well. The long circumstances was taken under the previous supply in the markout. This is the range of action 1, range of action 2, 150% rejection. Sorry, 200% rejection. With 200% rejections, what are the step of action plan which will be taken under the consideration? The movement breakthrough continuity will be in perspective of your previous allocation point. In perspective of previous allocation point, matlab, whatever the movement you are getting in the point of action will be your current consideration. For that, where you will be looking for a trade execution, you will be looking for a trade execution in 1 hour. So in 1 hour point of interest, what do we notice? There is a circumstantial move. With the circumstantial move, we have multiple POI ranges in between. When there is a multiple POI ranges in between, what is the plan of action that you will be working out with? You will be working out with the previous POI range. At this current range, where all are the previous? At this moment, this is my previous POI. With the previous POI, we can allocate two movement plan of action, movement plan of action 1, movement plan of action number 2, right? Two POI ranges in contact of 1 hour, which is inside the POI range of 4 hours. With this plan of action, what is the first step of allocation that you'll be working over here? The previous allocation point of the demand zone will act as your current. With the current point, removement structure will be taken place, right? So we, with the removement structure place, what is the circumstantial movement that you will be looking for? You will be looking for a closure point. Where will be the closure point of allocation? The closure point of allocation will be at your entry point of S2B1 setup. Okay. So at this circumstances, where is the S2B1 setup? At this stage of action. So we'll take into that plan. With that plan allocation, definitely the body didn't close below the level. There was a trap over here for the retailers. How is that trap allotted? Everyone, whoever was looking towards the short, were looking below this level of support. So with the below level of the support, everyone sat towards the short with the short continuity of the movement towards the long. Again, with what setup? S2B1 setup. Okay, with S2B1 setup, market tend to move up. How will you look for an allocation over here? The allocation will be taken in consideration to the previous. In this previous plan of action, what is your first step? The first step will be your supply, which will act at your current. With the current plan of action, what is the next step? We have a minimality zone. With the minimality zone, supply converted into demand because structure has changed. So in this scenario, what will be your supply? The last one. This is your last supply. So that will be acting as my current demand. So the rejection showcase the same with the continuity, the movement plan, right? We had a minimality. In the minimality, which minimality is this? 50% rejection, right? So direct allocation will be at, sorry, कहाँ पे है? 50% above होगा. Yes, 50% above, direct allocation will be at 200%. When 200% allocation is there, what is the next step plan of action? Rejection took. Rejection was as perpendicular of the previous demand. Allocation point कैसे identify करोगे यहाँ पे? First with the body, then on the break of structure with the wick. At this current stage, we don't have a break of structure, so only the body. The first allocating point will be taken under the consideration of the previous, which is this, right? So with this step of action, plan of action 1 will be with the body, market continued with the continuity. what will be the step of action plan? 200%. Right? With this 200%, what is the next step? The market gave a break. With the break and continuity, the entire circulating supply movement plan of action. Where is it at this current stage? At this current stage, let's come down to 4 hours again. Right? Where is the circulating supply movement plan of action? Prior to POI range, the movement structure. Right? The movement structure of prior to POI range was in the circulating of the buying allocation. Why this point is taken under the consideration, not any other points? Because where did the retailers tend to hunt down? The retailers tend to hunt down on Saturday and Sunday, right? Not the parallel channel circulating supply. This is a proper movement action plan prior to the early bird hunting. What is early bird hunting? Early bird hunting is a zone of action where everyone tend to trade in a non-position equities. In the non-position equities, people tend to look for executing at each and every candle point because the range is small. When the range is small and allocation is too big, so what do we look for the next? We look for a rebound act. What is a rebound act? Rebound act is taken under the consideration to the previous post the supply range of action with the circulating, because where are the circulating supplies of 1 hour? So first circulating supply, second circulating supply, right? This is a movement, that's totally fine, but the third circulating supply, the fourth circulating supply. In this range of action, you never look for a movement which has been in the direction. You will be looking for a movement of the previous as per the circulating supply. So as per the circulating supply of the previous allocation point is taken under the consideration of this movement action plan, right? So if you don't want to take that, if you're getting confused, so what you do, you go mark the POI range. You can just allot the entire retracement movement, post retracement, whatever movement you have got, that will act as your one. Whenever you are having a doubt, you utilize this method, right? First action plan, you will mark out post retracement point. So at this scenario, this is acting as my current, right? With the current structure, where is the start of the POI range? The start of the POI range is this. Okay. You notice a movement break. Post the movement break, what you do, just multiply it and allocate, right? So this will work as your small term gain movement plan, not a big term movement plan for swing. Intraday के लिए ये method use कर सकते हो, not for the swing. Okay. With this allocation, what are the major things that will be coming under the considerations of this point? At this point of action, you will be looking for an execution with only S to B1 setups coming apart, not any other setups. Why? We will look that in 15 minutes. At this current range, I'm just marking out my 150%. With my 150%, the rest. This is my 150% joyride, 200% of the latest supply, and 100% of my entire circulating supply move. Okay. So with this plan of action, what is the next step? 15 minutes. To understand 15 minutes and how do you execute the point of action, the mathematical calculations, correct? So in the mathematical calculations format, your swing low will act as this, swing high will act as this, retracement will act as this. Market is taking rejection from 200%. You guys can do the mathematical calculations and let me know, did it take a rejection from 200% or not, right? So most importantly, levels are followed in perspective of the mathematical concepts with the mathematical concepts execution point. Will we be looking for an add-on at this stage? No. Where we'll look for an add-on, where there is a S2B1 setup created, then we will look for a law, not prior to that. So people who are sitting from morning, well and good, be in the trade. Whoever is not in there, the trade from the morning, wait for the allocation. You will have a S2B1 setup. With the S2B1 setup, there will be a structure built over here till 86,000. With that continuity of the movement towards long. Any doubts in BTC? गोल्ड का आप खुद करो, बताओ। लेवल्स में सामने रखा है, क्या आपका लेवल्स मैच हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? यू गाइस विल डू इट बाय योरसेल्फ एंड लेट मी नो। उससे पहले बीटीसी में जो भी डाउट है पूछ लो, ठीक है? सर आप अक्सर मिनिमलिटी जोन के रहे के रहे सर आप अक्सर मिनिमलिटी जोन के रहे होते हैं। व्हाट इज इट? इट इज अ सीजनल मूवमेंट एक्शन प्लान। कहाँ पे दिखता है आपको? Q2 पे दिखती है, which is just the ईयर मूवमेंट का Q2 फाइनेंशियल ईयर का Q1 में दिखने को मिलती है, जो कि स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट फ्रॉम अप्रैल मई जून जुलाई। सो मई जून जुलाई में फुल फोर्स एक्शन प्लान में दिखती है, बट normally starts from April. That is the scenario of this minimalities. मिनिमलिटी क्या होती है? मतलब जब भी एक मूवमेंट एक्शन प्लान डेवलप होती है, राइट, तो उससे पहले एक इंडिकेशन देती है रिटेलर्स को ट्रैप करने की। उस ट्रैप अलोकेशन पॉइंट में आप लोगों को एग्जीक्यूशन किस तरफ का होना चाहिए? पोस्ट द मिनिमलिटी इज क्रिएटेड। क्यों? क्योंकि वहां पे रिटेलर्स सब शॉर्ट के तरफ या लॉन्ग के तरफ बैठ रहे होते हैं। उस पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन में allocation will be taken under the consideration of previous. So in this scenario मैं बताना चाहूँ तो what do you notice? There is a moment action plan. यहाँ पे सब लोगों को नीचे के लिए बिठाया, but market tend to take the liquidity and then drop it down, right? Post drop down क्या हुआ था? Minimality zone action create हुई थी, 100% टारगेट खाया था, 200% with 150% range of action, राइट? उसी एक्शन प्लान के साथ हमने एक इवनिंग में, फ्राइडे के इवनिंग टाइम पे एक ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूट किया था 3 वीक सेटअप के साथ। जब भी 3 वीक सेटअप अलॉट होता है, द एंटायर मूवमेंट विल बी कवर्ड, राइट? सो उसी मूवमेंट एक्शन प्लान के साथ कंटिन्यूटी में ये ट्रेड चल रही है फ्राइडे के दिन से, which is currently running with 900 pips. अलोकेशन पॉइंट्स भी दिखा देता हूँ एक बार, वेट फॉर अ मोमेंट। Can you please explain minimality 1, 2, 3 variation? I think I missed that. No worries, Nilesh. Definitely I will. Okay. BDC में कोई डाउट्स है? No sir, mine is running with 850 pips. मैं तुम्हारा पूछा ही नहीं वरुण, मैं मेरा बता रहा था। All the new members, welcome to the stream. Right, we don't give tips over here, nor we give any trades. 22 days of back testing, forward testing, which you guys will be doing, which will be 1.5 years of back testing, 1.5 years of forward relay bar testing. With that, 1 month of live analysis. Then come with a small capital to build the confidence in execution at the point of interest what you have learned. Then compound the value of the small value what you have got and build with proper risk to reward. Till then, no trades will be allotted, only learnings. Guys, please focus on learnings. Till the time you guys won't learn, you guys won't make the money. Okay? Am I clear? So this is the Friday trade-off action what we had taken with 3 wing setup. Okay. So the execution point over here was exactly at 3291.219. वहां से TP1 which was 10% exiting will be at 3315, right? जो कि यहाँ पे थी at this point of state. यहाँ पे हमने 10% निकाला था क्योंकि फ्राइडे क्लोजिंग थी. उसके बाद कंटिन्यूटी में we didn't want it to risk and we had placed a SL at 3306. Market never came down to that price of action. Okay. So with this, our swing trade is running from Friday till today, and continuity may market will be there in the structure followed through the plan of action of minimality 3410. Okay. And you guys can notice we had shared this when it was 250 pips, right? And if you notice, the entry point is also here 3291.219. TP 3315.790, the partial profits. SL 3306.368. Okay. And is it the same analysis what you can see it on the screen? 100% minimality, 100% supply. 200% demand, 200% demand, circle range, movement. Where was it? The showcased piece when it was over here, we shared the screenshot. Okay. So learn guys to execute this kind of trades. You guys have to understand what we are doing. Post that you guys can do whatever you feel like. But before entering into the markets, learn. The only humble request. Sir, what is your entry point on three wing? Please, can you tell me? आपका 100% हो गया जसम? Your accuracy is about 85% in supply and demand. Is your accuracy is about 97% in mathematical concept? Is your accuracy above 80% in identifying minimalities? If yes, let me know. Then I will let you know how to look for an execution at three wing setups. Okay. उस्मान आपको कुछ डाउट्स था ना? Please let me know. December 13 वर्षा, ये एलटीडी और एमएनपी का स्क्रीन आ गया यार. प्लेन स्क्रीन देना. हाँ, एलटीडी का स्क्रीनिंग आ गया है. प्लेन स्क्रीन दे. Guys, 1 second ना. Sir, I got the answer. Great, Usman. So I don't want to repeat it again, right? Yo. Without forward relay bar, how did you get 80% accuracy? Right? Close chart everyone can do, right? Because understanding of retracements is easier over here. Say me 80% accuracy in forward relay bar testing. Then I will teach you. बैक टेस्टिंग में सभी लोग कर लेंगे. फॉरवर्ड रिले बार में करो. सर स्विंग अलोकेट करेंगे क्या इंडियन मार्केट्स में? करेंगे ना. मना थोड़ी किया, करेंगे. And thank you everyone for showing patience for 1 week without executing the trades in Indian markets. Keep it up. Good job. Good morning, Bharat. नहीं, अभी नहीं। सब लोग गोल्ड बैक टेस्ट कर रहे हैं। गोल्ड बैक टेस्ट होने के बाद we will start for the next plan of action. Sir, what are the scenarios we look for the POI and engagement range? It should match with your previous POI and inducement range. And it always matches, huh? अगर उतना मुश्किल हो रहा है जैसे तो टाइमलाइन कम कर लो। सिंपल। सर मुझे थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है जब मैं डिमांड सप्लाई मैच करता हूँ तो कैलकुलेशन मैच नहीं होता, और जब कैलकुलेशन मैच होता है तो इंड्यूसमेंट मैच नहीं होता। क्या करूँ? स्टेप बाय स्टेप चलो। एंड यहाँ पे मैच होने की बात नहीं है, यहाँ पे डायरेक्शन में है या मूवमेंट या नहीं, वो मैटर करता है। टारगेट्स आर ऑलवेज मैथमेटिकल कैलकुलेशंस, वो याद में लेके चलना। 70 pips running। नहीं नहीं, इसमें तो मैं वेट करो बीटीसी। अभी अभी तो सेटअप क्रिएट हो। गोल्ड में 250 पिप्स की मूवमेंट पेंडिंग है नीचे के। उसके बाद कंटिन्यू होगी। अगर गोल्ड में करेंटली एलटीडी वाले जो भी डाउट्स आ रहा है ना, अलोकेशन पॉइंट इस हिसाब से लेके चलो। ओके। ट्रेड में बैठे हो करेक्ट, सो जो बैठे हो कंटिन्यूटी में बने रहो। ब्रेक होते ही एमटीएसएल पॉइंट को नीचे स्टार्ट कर लेना। And trade what you guys see, not what you guys think, because the ice is the best indicator than any other lagging indicators in the market. When market creates POI and inducement, are there any specific scenarios? I explained you the scenario. Rewind करके देख लो संतोष. Thank you so much. All the new members, 1.5 years of backtesting, 1.5 years, 1 month of live analysis with 1 month of live analysis come with the small value, build the confidence and execute. Then follow the risk to reward and continue the movement. So what is craving setup? The morning trade you have shown appears to me as S2 B1 setup. Am I wrong? This is not morning trade, Usman. This is Friday evening trade. 100 pips running. कैंडल क्लोज होने में अभी भी 6 मिनट बाकी है. Hats off for your teaching, sir. And all the old members जो भी बैक टेस्टिंग फॉरवर्ड टेस्टिंग में है डाउट्स लिखना स्टार्ट कर लो. सर फोकस को कैसे बिल्ड करूं, मैं थोड़ा बहक जाता हूँ प्रैक्टिस के टाइम पर. Start meditating, start reading books. With that, while practicing the forward deliver testing, you can use any mellow songs to keep the distraction away. Right? Dinchak gana nahi. Okay, mellow songs. Okay, Bharat, follow the steps. Dinchak. Sir, please explain supply and demand. I am missing. आप forward testing करो, back testing करो, you will not miss it. Right, Ranjit? Four more minutes on the closure, guys. You know the best part about gold? आग बंद करके पैसा देता है. कुछ नया बताओ मैम. ये बहुत पुरानी हो गई. Sometimes when MC2 1.618 is hit, it creates S2 scenario, but again it fails and achieves MC2 before reversing. How to analyze this case? Nilesh, no worries, right? So 1.618 से रिवर्स हो रहा है, सिनेरियो क्रिएट हो रही है. सिनेरियो क्रिएट होने के बाद मूवमेंट प्लान ऑफ एक्शन 2 तक जा रही है, राइट? फर्स्ट कैलकुलेट व्हाट इज द रेंज डिफरेंस बिटवीन 1.618 and 2, right? If it's in the range of 5 points or 500 points, execute the trade at 1.618. If it's not in the range of 1.618, से 200% का रेंज 500 पॉइंट्स और 5 पॉइंट्स के रेंज के अंदर नहीं है, then you can, what you can do is you can wait for POI break confirmation, right? So POI break confirmation जब reversal create होते हुए दिखती है, on the break structure you will look for a re-execution point. उससे पहले नहीं. Okay, analyze it through your risk to reward. चलो बेश, फिर से आज के दिन शुभारंभ हो चुकी है. लाइव स्ट्रीमिंग में 150 pips plus running. To be precise, full 155 run. we'll add this in backtest. Okay, Nitesh. 48 seconds to go, guys. Beautiful, Faisal. Beautiful, Arshad. Keep it up. एक रिजेक्शन चाहिए निफ्टी में, तब जाके ऐड करें. Add on quantity, yes. Lovely. What a closure. सर यहाँ पे लिक्विडिटी कैलिब्रेट हो सकती है क्या? नहीं, यहाँ पे लिक्विडिटी कैलिब्रेट हो गया उतना ही. मार्केट में कुछ और ही धमाका मच जाएगा. एक नंबर, गाइस. कुमड़ी कुमड़ी. अगर अलोकेशन पॉइंट देखना चाहते हो कितने का है एट द करंट स्टेट, इज रनिंग विथ 150 पिप्स. रेट आईजी में 180 पिप्स के साथ चल रहा है, मतलब ये अभी भी नीचे आएगा. ब्यूटीफुल. नहीं नहीं नहीं, स्मिता मैम, क्या कर रहे हो? रुको. कहाँ पे एड ऑन देख रहे हो? स्ट्रक्चर तो बिल्ड करने दो एड ऑन के लिए. ये स्ट्रक्चर कहाँ पे बिल्ड करेगा पता है? इस पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन। क्योंकि रिटेलर सब रनिंग में बैठे हैं, इतना आसान थोड़ी देगा पैसा। All the MNP and LTD members, revive action plan allocate करो यहाँ पे। Target 1500 points. Okay. ब्रेक थ्रू स्ट्रक्चर अलोकेशन देख लेना, अगर मिस कैलिब्रेट होती है तो। क्योंकि दो पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन में कैलिब्रेशन मिस हुआ है आज, आज के दिन में। पॉइंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट वन, पॉइंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट टू। डेफिनेटली इट शुड ग्रैब इट आउट, लंदन या न्यूयॉर्क। हाँ, विदाउट कैलिब्रेशन मूवमेंट नहीं होती है, सो यस इट शुड। नेक्स्ट 3 मिनट के लिए मैं म्यूट में जा रहा हूँ। कोई भी डाउट्स है तो मैसेज कर देना, आई विल रिस्पॉन्ड यू बैक। आई एम गेटिंग वन इम्पोर्टेंट कॉल। How do you analyze this kind of movement? किसकी बात कर रहे हो वरुण? Rejection which it is currently taking. Rejection लिया कहाँ पे है at first place? रिजेक्शन तब डेवलप होगा जब मूवमेंट इन एक्शन प्लान जनरेट होगा. वो कब जनरेट होगा? जब जब स्ट्रक्चर में इम्बैलेंस होगी. स्ट्रक्चर में इम्बैलेंस कब जनरेट होता है? वो एक मैथमेटिकल नंबर के पास होना चाहिए, तब जाके स्ट्रक्चरल इम्बैलेंस जनरेट होती है. ठीक है. So just a clarification that during marking of supply and demand taken much consideration correcting supply and demand during pure range as it keeps on falling apart. Secondly, I understand the minimality, but I haven't marked the supply and demand considering minimality as of now. Okay. So just a clarification that during marking of supply and demand, I haven't taken much consideration correcting. You have to correcting supply and demand during POA range as it keeps on falling apart. Always remember one thing: whenever there is a POI range in the act, right? You have to take a part action plan which will be in reorganizing your supply and demand. So please work on it. Let the level be there, right? Example, you understood this is a POI range which is built at the current state of action, right? Or the inducement. So what you will be doing at this current point? Definitely, you know that this is my supply. In the supply action plan, the market is moving, right? So I will mark this point of interest of supply. So this supply is taken under the consideration, right? With this supply taking under the consideration, what will be my next step plan of action which I'll be doing at this state? The next step plan of action, what I'll be doing is I will be changing my structure plan analysis of allocating my new supply, right? Once the new supply is allotted, what is the next plan of action which will be taking under the consideration? As we don't have 100% rejection, new allotment will be taken under the consideration over here, right? When you take a new allotment under the consideration, you know that there is a rejection perspective at this point, which is at 150%, correct? So I will mark out the 150% range over here. So जैसे ही मैंने 150% mark out किया, what is the next step of action plan that I'll be following? I know that मेरा 150% target hit नहीं हुई है, right? So at this circumstantial way of looking into the markets, what I will do, I know the market has created a selling pressure over here. starting with the action plan 1. With the action plan 1, market tend to close in the same zone for 30 minutes plus. When there is a 30 minutes closure, what is the next plan of action that you will be working over here? The next plan of action will be taken under the consideration of to the previous. ओके एक ही जोन में वर्क कर रहा है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं प्रीवियस रेंज ऑफ एक्शन का पीओआई ड्रॉ करूंगा. At this state, this is my POI of the previous, right? With this previous allocation point, what I'll do, I'll just cross check whether it is in the same zone of action. If it's in the same zone of action, I will not look towards the short, right? So what is market indicating? Market is indicating it's in the same zone of action. When it's in the same zone of action, what is the plan of action which will be taken under the consideration? On the break, the market will tend to continue. So that should be your plan of action, because each and every POI there will be a structure shift. With the structure shift, moment allocation. So always remember this criteria of allocating the moments in the structure change plan through the analytical way of reanalysis. So in this scenario, what will happen? This will be my new supply. Suppose the new supply is allotted. I know that 150 and 200% isn't completed. What I will do, I will allocate it with the POI range of action plan. With the POI range of action plan, what do we see? There is no break of structure at the start. So what will be the first plan of action? With the body. So with the body allocation, what did market tend to do? Market gave a closure exactly at my 100% rate. Keeping in mind, my 200% is completed, my 100% is completed, my 150% is completed, and my new supply range is also completed. Okay. So it seems you're drawing something, but no drawing appears. स्क्रीन फ्रीज हो गया. चेकिंग चेकिंग. नहीं स्क्रीन फ्रीज नहीं हुआ है. मैं जो ड्राइंग किया वो ड्राइंग गया कहाँ, वो चेक कर रहा हूँ. अगर स्क्रीन फ्रीज होता तो ऊपर डिस्प्ले नहीं आती ना. ऊपर आपका फोरेक्स टेक्स्ट मूवमेंट में है, करेक्ट. एक सेकेंड. Sir, you have drawn on LTD screen. Okay, sorry guys. हाँ करेक्ट. मैं वही ढूंढ रहा था, क्या कहा. नो वरीज, फिर से एक्सप्लेन कर दूंगा. एक्सप्लेन एक्सप्लेन करने में मेरे को प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. लेट्स स्टार्ट टू एक्सप्लेन इट अगेन. ओके, शिफ्ट हो गया ना अभी. यस. एक सेकेंड ना. ओके. So what was Usma's question? So it seems the drawing one, drawing name. Okay. Clarification of POI range, correct? You're not looking into the minimality zones, you're not looking into the structures, anything, right? So at this point of action, आज के दिन में अगर notice करोगे, this was a movement action plan with a POI range, correct? So at this scenario, क्या करोगे आप? अगर आप notice करके चल रहे हो, so in the action plan at the current stage, what is the first thing that you will be identifying? The first identification will be at your supply. So this is your supply, right? So this supply is taken under the consideration to the previous, right? So with the previous action plan, I allocated a structure. यहाँ पे एक structure allocate हुआ, right? Structure allocate होने के बाद I do know that the moment action plan is not taken under the consideration to the next. So मैं यहाँ पे क्या करूँगा? मैं यहाँ पे 150%, 200% का range out draw करूँगा, right? So in this scenario, ना मेरा 150 complete हुआ, ना मेरा 200, right? So not nor my 150 completed, nor my 200. So इस circumstances में majorly मेरे को क्या देखना है, right? Allocation as per the previous, right? Movement यहाँ पे आके एक selling pressure दिखाई near to the 150%, right? दिखाई कि नहीं दिखाई? जैसे ही दिखाया, market tend to act in the same range. 3 candles, 4 candle acted in the same range. So what will be my first plan of allocation at this point? My first point of allocation will be my previous POI range. इस scenario में ये मेरा previous POI है, correct? So मैं previous POI range को allocate करके current movement action plan check करूँगा. So in this scenario, this is my current movement plan. Then I'll notice, is my rejection in the same range? Yes, market is taking the rejection in the same range. जब market same range के अंदर जब reject लेता है, तो first action plan क्या होना चाहिए? Market अगर reversal structure plan build करना चाहिए, definitely ये हमारा 3 wing setup का target भी था. यहाँ से अगर structure change होता है, तो फर्स्ट मेजर एक्शन प्लान क्या होना चाहिए मेरे को? द फर्स्ट मेजर एक्शन प्लान शुड बी ऑलवेज इन द स्ट्रक्चर वे. सेटअप क्रिएट होना चाहिए. यहाँ पे मेरे पास सेटअप है नहीं है, तो व्हाट विल बी माय न्यू अलोकेशन पर्सपेक्टिव? न्यू अलोकेशन पर्सपेक्टिव मेरे पास 150%, 200% का तो रेंज ऑफ एक्शन है. अगर मार्केट यहाँ पे ब्रेक इन द डायरेक्शन ऑफ बुलिश करता है, तो यहाँ पे सप्लाई स्ट्रक्चर नया बिल्ड होती है. इन दिस सिनेरियो, this will be my new supply structure because the setup is being invalidated in the movement plan. So in this scenario, this will be my new supply. Allocation कहाँ से होगा? New POI range से. At this point of action, this is my new POI. With the new POI range, will it be with the wick or with the body? with the body. Why? Because the market tend to give a break of structure post the third candle, which is 150% मिनिमलिटी से ब्रेक थ्रू के साथ जब कंटिन्यूटी में आया तब जाके ये प्लान ऑफ एक्शन डेवलप हुई. So keeping in mind, your 150% target also hit, your 200% target was also hit. With that, new supply 100% target was also completed with the same plan of action. So this is how you look for a new structure allocation with the POI reassembling point. Reassembling point both important hota hai markets mein to identify and rebuild the structure analysis of the market. Right? So जैसे ही structure analysis rebuild होते हुए दिखती है, the first action plan always market will tend to do is hunt out retailers in perspective of the movements. So you have to understand that whenever there is a POI built, the new supply needs to be added, keeping in mind your previous supply targets are not yet hit. Your demand targets are not yet hit. Am I clear? सर एक रिक्वेस्ट है, ब्रेक थ्रू पीओ स्ट्रक्चर शिफ्ट के छोटे वीडियो बना. सर एक रिक्वेस्ट है, ब्रेक थ्रू पीओएस स्ट्रक्चर शिफ्ट के छोटा वीडियोस बनाओ प्लीज, जम्बलिंग हो रहा है. डेफिनेटली आप इंग्लिश में बताते हो, समझ नहीं आता, थोड़ा हिंदी में बताना शॉर्टली प्लीज. ओके सर, आई हैव कंप्लीटेड back testing of daily and 4 hours, but in 1 hour testing was smooth, but sometimes it's not fully accurate for a short period of time. What should I do? Allocate it with every POI range of action plan. आपका accuracy बढ़ जाएगा. Okay. Osman. Stream will be there for next 35 minutes. Joe with outside, please do ask. एक चीज दिखाना था, राइट? ये जो आप देख रहे हो ना स्ट्रक्चर विदाउट ए ब्रेक मूवमेंट 2025 का, बहुत बड़ा करेक्शन आने वाला है, तैयार हो जाओ. Right? This is a jumble movement analysis which has been crossed more than 24% in just 3 months. Okay. So we will be having a really good correction. With the really good collection, wealth creation will also be at its best. So तैयार हो जाना, बहुत जल्द आने वाला है, इतना गारंटी है. आप बोलोगे कि मार्केट कितना वॉलेटाइल है, वो मार्केट वॉलेटाइल नहीं होगा उस समय पे, राइट? एग्जैक्ट सेटअप के हिसाब से ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूट करोगे ना, you won't be even able to imagine the profits what you will be making out of that zone. बहुत जल्द आएगा, because without correction market is going in a direction. एंड एक चीज बताऊंगा, मार्केट कंसोलिडेशन जोन जाने के लिए भूल जाओ, डेली टाइम फ्रेम पे समझा देता हूँ सो दैट इट विल बी इजियर फॉर यू गाइस, राइट? ओ माय गॉड, सॉरी। यस, करेक्शन क्यों आएगा वो भी बता देता हूँ। लिक्विडिटी पॉइंट नंबर वन, लिक्विडिटी पॉइंट नंबर टू, दोनों इन कवरेज जोन ऑफ एक्शन प्लान में, राइट? जाने तो ऊपर, जितना ऊपर जाएगा मेरे को उससे प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो भी कैप्चर करेंगे। बट जब नीचे आएगा ना करेक्शन करके, फिर से इट विल बी ए 2000 पिप 3000 पिप मूवमेंट, एक दिन में आएगा वो, बट मजेदार मूवमेंट आएगा, यू विल लव इट। एंड भूल जाओ साइडवेज में आएगा मार्केट, ये सब डायरेक्शनल मूव देगा, एंड गिरेगा, ऐसा गिरेगा कि आप लोग इमेजिन भी नहीं किए हो। So just 5 days back, I bought gold at high and repurchased with additional amount. 5 days back, 5 days, 1 2 3 4 5, 92,000 में खरीदे हो, ओके। 88,000 में क्यों नहीं खरीदे, 84 में क्यों नहीं खरीदे? एनीवेज, होल्ड कर लो, राइट? जब तक यहाँ पे S2B1 सेटअप होके क्लोजर नहीं देता है 3 कैंडल्स की, तब तक आराम से होल्ड कर लो। ये वर्षा क्या है ये? Excuse me. Good morning, Ashok sir, and welcome to TTS. And thank you for being the part of TTS family. I want to learn about S1, B1, S2, B2. What are these terminologies? Can you please arrange learning videos serial number wise? Okay, we'll do that. But it could take some time because we are working on something else at the current stage of Ashokji. But for sure, we will do that needful. Okay. But at the current stage, to understand S1 setups and S2 setups, right? Please go. There is a video in liquidity section, which is called as liquidity explained. In that scenario, we have explained S1 and S2 scenarios. You can go through it. So members only videos will start from this weekend. So in detail explanation will be there in that as well. Okay. Before closing, please explain minimality M1, M2, M3 videos. Okay, Nitesh. So daily and 4 hours supply and demand का doubt कमेंट कर दिया था उनमें clarify कर दीजिए sir. Sure, Usma. Give me 5 minutes. I'll do that. 13th, 30th, and 7th. Daily time frame, no? 23rd, 12, 30. From where this supply came from? But this is 23rd, right? Your supply plan of action will be taken under the consideration of previous, which will be from November 23rd to December 1st. That will be your supply, which you will be allocating at this point. Okay? And 30th July. 30th July. Same plan of action. The plan of action will be taken under the consideration with this supply. So wherein the action plan will be taken under the consideration of 15th July till 17th July. Okay. So that will act as your 30th July supply. November 2024. 7. Okay. From where this supply came from. Demand converted into supply, right? This will be the act of point. Okay. So your 23rd October demand candle will act as your 8th November supply candle. Okay. And the demand candle is in procedure of to the previous. So 31st October and 1st November candles will act as your 100% coverage and continuity. In this scenario, this is your 100% marking, wherein this 100% marking will come under the play of this. There is a 100% break. When there is a 100% break, you mark out the second range of action, wherein 150% and 200% was in the zone of action. Okay, so this is the mark out for your 7th November. With that 7th November, the retracement supply, what you are talking, is this entire demand which gets converted into the supply. Okay. Minimality. Nilesh, at the current stage, you work on minimality 1, right? Minimality 1 of action plan will be taken under the consideration to the previous. Within the 100% range of action plan, what you will be doing, 50% के अंदर जो क्लोज होती है उसके अंदर जो रिजेक्शन प्लान ऑफ एक्शन जनरेट होता है that is M1 minimality, right? In M1 minimality, market tend to complete 100%. With the 100% completion, market will go till 150%. The target one will be 150% with 150% rejection, and with the retracement, market will continue till 200%. सो यहाँ पे 150% क्लियर होता है, उसके बाद 200% कवरेज होती है, उससे पहले नहीं. ओके. Sir, in daily time frame screening, how many days back will you consider the supply? Doesn't matter till the time it's in my range of action plan. Okay, Venkat. So अगर वो if it's in my scenario of continuity without a retracement, it doesn't matter was it for 30 days, was it for 5 days, was it for 10 days, was it for a year. Without retracement, if the movement is continued, definitely I will take an entire movement action plan. Okay. Nilesh, once you're completed with M1 scenarios, let me know. Then we'll come down to M2 scenarios. All the new members, 1.5 years of back testing, 1.5 years of forward relay bar testing, 1 month of live analysis, post 1 month of live analysis. Come with the small capital, build the confidence, compound the value, follow the risk to reward, and execute the trades. And पुराने लोग जितने भी हैं डाउट्स लिखना स्टार्ट कर दो गाइस. ओके. 100 pips running S2B1 setup. तू LTD स्क्रीन में आ तू. Okay. Everyone move their MTSL from this point to this. System trailing will be at this point, which is 3354. अगस्त है नहीं नहीं आपका MTSL पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन 3310 में होगा. राइट. सर TTS कॉन्सेप्ट के ऊपर एक बुक लॉन्च कर दो. एक ही बाकी रह गया था. यस सर प्लीज डू. व्हाट ए रिजेक्शन। अगर 10-10 पॉइंट को रिजेक्शन बोलते बैठोगे हो गया। बट यस, आधा लोग यहाँ पे पुल बैक में बैठे हैं, उनका जितना भी कैपिटल था यहाँ पे ब्लो हो चुका है। अभी भी 3 मिनट बाकी है। Sir, one clarification. If we consider currently made S2B1 setup, then should we wait till the SL range should be below 3369 to execute the trade? To execute the trade, or do we just execute the trade in the second candle close? No second candle close. What is S2B1 setup? S2B1 setup is a wick creation, second candle wick creation, third candle wick creation converted into green candle. Then the execution will be there. From that point of time, एशियन सेशन में आप 20 पिप्स की एसएल लेके चलोगे, एंड उसके साथ लंदन एंड न्यूयॉर्क सेशन में 40 पिप्स की एसएल लेके चलोगे. सेम सिनेरियो फॉर डिमांड. मार्केट विक क्रिएट करके नीचे आया, सेकंड कैंडल विक क्रिएट करके नीचे आया, थर्ड कैंडल विक क्रिएट करके जब रेड में कन्वर्ट होता है तब एंट्री लोगे, एंड अलोकेशन कहाँ तक देखोगे? टिल द प्लान ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ द ब्रेक. Moment, mathematical concept. First target TP1 will be always the first demand action point. The recipe book, thanks, will check. Okay, Usma. ऐसे भी रिटेलर्स को बाहर करता है क्या? और क्या? जितना गिरा था उतना वापस भी तो रिकवर हो गया. So that's the reason. FOMO execution is very harmful in this markets. Running candle execution, FOMO execution, right? This and all harms people. How does it harm? अकाउंट ब्लो करेगा, माइंड के साथ खिलवाड़ करेगा, राइट? सीखने में फोकस हटाएगा. मत सीखो, पैसा लेके आओ, डुबाओ, बोलेगा. ग्रीड क्रिएट करेगा, ग्रीड के साथ फोमो जनरेट होगी, डोपामाइन इफेक्ट ऐड ऑन होगा, डोपामाइन के साथ इन्फ्लेमेटरी माइंडसेट क्रिएट होगा. इन्फ्लेमेटरी माइंडसेट जब क्रिएट होता है तब जाके आपका माइंड ऑफ अलोकेशन गैम्बलिंग स्टेट में उतरेगी. जब गैम्बलिंग स्टेट में उतरोगी, ना रिस्क टू रिवॉर्ड फॉलो होगा, ना रिस्क मैनेजमेंट फॉलो होगा, ना टारगेट तक होल्ड कर पाओगे. इन दिस सिनेरियो ओनली वन थिंग हैपेंस. जितना कैपिटल लेके आए थे वो एक दिन या एक ट्रेड में उड़ा दोगे. So there is a set and process which you have to follow. It's not difficult to burn money in the markets. You just have to enter randomly anywhere. You will burn the money if you have a lot. Okay, sir. But in the video, you haven't explained the wick. It goes if the candle closes in a proper wick creation, second candle in the range of the wick candle, then execution on the second candle close. हर एक चीज वीडियो में बताई जाएगी, तो आप सीखोगे क्या? बताओ। राइट? आप वीडियो देखे, आप बैक टेस्ट किए, आपको समझ में आया कि इस पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन में एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करना है, सो व्हाट इज द राइट पॉइंट ऑफ एक्शन प्लान? पूछे, you understood the plan of action, right? So always remember, don't blindly trust on videos. क्योंकि सेटअप्स में भी there will be a change in plan of action every 3 months, right? So always work on that, not randomly executing. Yeah, come on. So whoever is learning, right? So always that person, he or she will always focus on one thing. What is that? Okay, video देखा, let's do the back testing on it. तो बैक टेस्ट हुआ, चलो बैक टेस्ट 3 महीना काम किया, उसके बाद काम नहीं कर रहा है. What is the plan of action? Let's look whether I'll be able to capture it or not. फॉरवर्ड टेस्टिंग में आता है. फॉरवर्ड टेस्टिंग में 3 महीना कैप्चर किया, उसके बाद ट्रैप होना स्टार्ट हो गए. So what will be the next plan of action? The next plan of action is, you understand why, where, and how. So when you understand why, where, and how, then it will be easier for you to understand because you have already back tested, you have forward tested. Now you will have a clear understanding of the structure before executing. So that are the plan of actions which is always taken under the consideration to the previous. Okay. So it doesn't matter what's your age. Please give me 3 months, 22 days to understand what we are doing, and 2 months for you guys to enter into the trade at the right levels. Sir, in the gold, will the S1B2 setup will be formed with 3 candles by 2 candles with the rejection? And the third candle will be the green and go up in continuation. Yes, that's right. Sometimes it might be red candle also. The fourth candle can move up, but execution will be with the buying pressures. So to understand that and all, you have to execute the trades post learning. सीखा, सीखने के बाद allocation देखा, allocation देखने के बाद समझा, okay, setup build हुआ है. So what should I do? Should I wait? Is it in my direction? Buying pressure या selling pressure दिखा रहा है? अगर बाइंग प्रेशर दिखा रहा है मार्केट में, तो मैं सेलिंग साइड पे S1B1 सेटअप या S2B2 सेटअप के साथ नहीं बैठूंगा. बाइंग डायरेक्शन में जब भी S2B1 या S2B2 सेटअप्स क्रिएट होंगे तभी बैठूंगा. दैट शुड बी योर प्लान ऑफ एक्शंस. ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दैट. राइट? सिनेरियो 1 यहाँ पे ही दिखा. तो क्या हुआ? मार्केट में सेलिंग प्रेशर जनरेट हुई, करेक्ट? यहाँ पे डेफिनेटली S2B2 setup create हुआ. What is S2B2? A mother candle, a inside candle, two candle confirmation in the inside candle, third candle break and continue. Third or fourth candle, correct? In this scenario, there was a break and continue? No. The continuation was towards the bullish side itself. So what you will be doing? You will be looking for the long. In the long setup, okay, we have a pressure allocation towards buying side. Candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. But candle 3 didn't had a wick creation. So what you will be doing? You will be waiting for a break on to the POI range. with the break on to the peer range continuity in the movement. Okay. So that will be the plan of actions which you will be taking under the consideration to allocate the movements in the directions of the market till the mathematical numbers. Any doubts? Trade fearlessly, be in the directions of the mathematical numbers, control on your emotions. Jeetne se kushi manana, हारने से दुखी हो जाना is not the quality of the traders. Make sure to follow the proper risk to reward. Asian session 20 pips, London session 40 pips. New York session also will be acting in 40 pip range of action. With that, once you are in the trade with the proper setup, try to hold the trades till the mathematical numbers. Sit patiently, calmly till the targets are hit. No FOMO executions, no running candle trades, no impatience full trades. With this, all the new members will be following 1.5 years of backtesting, 1.5 years of forward relay bar testing, 1 month of live analysis. With 1 month of live analysis, come with a small capital, execute the trades, build the confidence, compound the value. While compounding the value, follow the risk to reward and build the account, right? With this, keep doing the back testing, and old members keep writing the doubts whichever you are having while doing the back testing and forward testing, and ask in the sessions. We'll catch you up in the evening session. This is Nitesh signing off. Take care. Bye bye.